Alrighty, hello Professor Solis. My name is Gabriel Carrillo. Today in this video we'll be looking at the Display a Cube program that we worked on for the past 2 weeks. This is exam number 2. So to start off, this is our .h file, which includes we built the class cube in. It includes all of our private instances as well as the public ones. These are basically all the functions that we'll be calling upon and building upon in cube.cpp. Here you can see all of the functions here being built and coded into. Again, drawing the number of spaces is just going to draw the number of spaces in between, and then drawing stars, basically just implementing the stars in the spots that it's supposed to be in. Here, for the setup, this is basically like, I'm going to call it boilerplate code for this program. It's taking the side before is equal to side value minus 1. The spaces between is equal to side minus 2. And then spaces on the right face is going to be set to 0. And the reason we set it to 0 is I'm going to show you in a second. Right when we start this, there's going to be 0 spaces on the right, but we can increment that later. Basically, inside 1, all we're doing is we're taking the initial value for side, and we're implementing that right away. And because it's going to be spaces before, it's going to be the side value minus 1, and then drawing stars is just going to be displaying the side value, which is going to be 5 in stars. And then we get into the part number 2. Basically, this is taking the side value right here, subtracting 2 from it, and then incrementing then from then on. And this is going to do it for each of these functions that we're using here. Which is going to give us our slanted lines. Go ahead and take this break off really quick. Part 3 is going to be the middle portion of the cube. This is, again, doing the same thing that part 1 does in drawing the space. It's just going to be drawing the side values that were given. Part number 4 is going to be it's going to be taking the parallel lines down. So this is going to be, you're taking the side value, dividing it by 2, and then incrementing from there. It's going to be very similar to part number 2, except spaces on the right face here is going to be subtracting 1, and this is going to be adding 1. And then part 5 is just displaying the last part of the stars. It doesn't need to, we don't need to add or subtract anything because it's going to be on the bottom left-hand corner of this program. Here in the main source.cpp, here you can say we're getting a side value given by the user, which is going to be in user num. mycube.setSide user num. Basically, this is saying that mycube is equal to setSide, and setSide is also equal to user num, which we're given here by the user. And then mycube.display is displaying this function right here. It's calling upon this function and displaying it. So let's go ahead and implement the number 13. Okay, here you can see this part right here. It's part 1. And then you go from here all the way down here. This is going to be part 2 in the program. This is part 3. And then all the way from there on till here's part 4. And then this is part 5. So, yeah, I struggled a lot with building these sort of programs. I don't really do well with building objects like this, so this kind of helps. The video guide helps, but that's where I struggled with in this program. Thank you so much.